بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ينفعنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. My dear respected brothers and elders and sisters in Islam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan for everyone, mashallah, by the way, who alhamdulillah, who contributed yesterday. May Allah reward you all. Alhamdulillah, we just find a lot of really just melts my heart every year, alhamdulillah, seeing the commitment that people have, mashallah, to the masajid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah accept everyone and protect everyone's wealth, inshallah, and their health, inshallah. And may Allah make it that we can open the masajid fully, inshallah ta'ala, as soon as the time comes, and that everyone can live their life like normal again, inshallah. So I promised like a Q&A session for quite some time, and I apologize for everyone who comes very regularly for this. They're like, oh, where's the Q&A? So inshallah, after this session, small session of Itikaf, you all can ask questions in the chat box, inshallah ta'ala, and I'll try my best to respond, okay? It'll be a very short session about the sunnah of Itikaf. And I really wanted to highlight this because I think this year is going to be a very different type of Itikaf for all of us. But it's something that we can all take advantage of. That's why I really want to talk about it. People are wondering, why are we doing this Itikaf program anyways, if there's no like formal Itikaf in the masjid? Well, I wanted everyone to know, inshallah ta'ala, the scholars of today, mashallah, because of the situations and circumstances, they said we can make intention to perform from home. So what did they say? This is written from Mufti Yusuf Shabir of the UK. He writes in his fatwa, and when people ask him about i'tikaf, he said if the lockdown continues, of course in the UK, and you are unable to perform i'tikaf in the masjid, you can seclude yourself in the dedicated salah area of your home. Okay, you should perform congregational salah here and engage in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you would do in the masjid. By performing salah here in congregation, inshallah, you will attain the reward of performing salah in congregation in the masjid. Again, this is one of the most wonderful times, is that subhanallah, when we had such difficulty to make salah in the masjid, now subhanallah, if people make jama'ah at home, they can hope for the reward of the salah in the masjid, inshallah ta'ala. Isn't that amazing? And then the second benefit is what he mentioned. He said, likewise, by confining yourself to this area, so everyone should have a musalla or a masjid area in their homes. This is something we should, at least for the month of Ramadan, we should specify, and in this time we should definitely have it, is that we should have a specific area in which we consider to be the masjid area. Okay, and so that area will be the place where we do our salah, read our Quran, do our ibadah, whatever it might be, mashallah, make it a space there. So he said, if you confine yourself to this area, you will, inshallah, attain the benefits and reward of i'tikaf, because you are unable to perform i'tikaf in the masjid. Okay. And he mentioned this as well. He said, however, it should be noted that the formal rules of i'tikaf will not apply in the way that they apply in the masjid. And that is a very obvious reason, because this is not a quote-unquote replacement for the masjid, because we still have the masjid available. Certain areas in certain places, they could still find masajid that may be able to accommodate 1 or 2 people. And so because of that reason, we don't consider it to be the formal substitute. Okay, it is not the badal, but it is something that you can hope for, inshallah, if you want to do this. And I think everyone should. That college kid that doesn't do anything all day, he just on his laptop getting ready for class, whatever, he can make his room into a place of i'tikaf, right? The husband that just works his IT job, right? He's working with his laptop. Bring your laptop into the workplace and just sit there and just do your work, mashallah. You know, that's also possible. If you've already taken days off because you want to do i'tikaf, then mashallah, specify a room in your house and do i'tikaf, inshallah ta'ala, okay? With the niyyah that, Allah, I'm doing this for you. I can't do it in the masjid. So please, Ya Rabbal Alameen, because of your kindness and grace, because I know you are kind and so grateful for whatever actions we do. You appreciate it so much. Ya Allah, please, inshallah ta'ala, give us the reward of i'tikaf. Okay? Make that intention. So I encourage everyone, you know, you're not going outside anyways. So might always make this happen, inshallah. Okay. So we have a wonderful opportunity because we are home, because we're already isolated enough, we can perform this i'tikaf. Now, subhanAllah, getting that across, I hope everyone is at least thinking about it now. Hey, I actually can do i'tikaf. I can be here for 10 days. I have a son, he can go do the shopping. I'll do it myself. I'll be at home. Inshallah, I can get the ajr of doing i'tikaf. And there's lots of ajr in it. There's tons of reward in it. And I want everyone to be aware that, subhanAllah, this is something that, let's go through the virtues. And then, you know, every year I hear about this and I just think, you know what, I need to get into i'tikaf myself, you know. So the virtues of i'tikaf, Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahib, he said, is one of the most beautiful forms of ibadah that is practiced by the Sharia, okay? Practiced by Muslims all over the world. You could probably see it, mashallah, such enthusiasm that Muslims, they will go to Makkah, Medina to do i'tikaf over there for the holy month of Ramadan, mashallah. You know, they're so in love with this ibadah, okay? The Sharia has laid down specific rules, which is why I have this program in the first place, because I want to make sure we know the fiqh of these things. Again, you know, people think that, oh, Allah knows what's in my heart. You know, what's the point of this fiqh? You're not understanding who Allah Ta'ala is then, right? If you're saying, oh, Allah should just accept it, Allah doesn't have to listen to you, okay? Allah is the one who puts down the rules. We don't put rules on Allah. Allah decided that this is how itikaf should be done, and we follow His rules. That shows that we are slaves. He put down these rules, the Sharia. The Sharia is what? It is a path, right? Sharia in Islam means a path in which you can attain Allah's pleasure. He gave you this path to know that this is what pleases Him, this is what makes Him happy. And so if you and I want to do it, alhamdulillah, we have this option in front of us. But we should never ever say, oh, Allah knows this in my heart, I don't really need to do these things, astaghfirullah. May Allah save us from those types of shaitani waswas, this iblisi type of qualities, inshallah. Okay. So in any case, unfortunately, people have very small idea about the rules, and mashallah, brothers who are from Burlington have Mawlana Osman, who gives you entire itikaf dars. You're probably basically a mufti sahab after this itikaf dars. It's a very long dars. I stopped sitting in it because it was too long for me. Mashallah, I give you guys, alhamdulillah, whoever did it, may Allah give you such reward, mashallah. Okay. So now the importance, the Prophet ﷺ, he always performed it. He never missed i'tikaf. Okay. After he came to Medina, the Prophet never missed i'tikaf. In his last i'tikaf, the Prophet performed 20 days to make it for the previous year. We'll talk about why he missed the previous year's i'tikaf in a second, inshallah. But know that no one can be more busy than the Prophet ﷺ. He is the Amir, the Khalifa. He is the responsible governor. He is the brother, the father. The everything for the people of Medina. He is the companion of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, right? They need him, they require him. No one could be more busy. All these different battles and wars and all these things that are happening in his time, zakat collection, making sure the salat, jama'ah, all these things. There's so many affairs the Prophet has to take care of, but he always made time for the last 10 days of Ramadan to make sure this happens, mashallah. He always made his i'tikaf. I want everyone to remember that. We make the excuse that we are busy. How can you be more busy than the Prophet ﷺ? Okay, and now subhanallah, if all your work is on the laptop, just take the laptop in there, subhanallah. I don't think any scholar will tell you that's wrong, in that sense that today, because of the times, the zamana we're in, and mashallah, if you can get a bonus ajr just by sitting at home and just made the niyat of i'tikaf, inshallah, it should be good. It should be good in the hood, alhamdulillah. We should take advantage of this. No one was more concerned than the Prophet than the welfare of the ummah. And I mentioned this because a lot of brothers say, well, we have to go on jamaat, we have to go on tabligh. Your tabligh, your jamaat, everything takes a pause. Everything takes a pause for i'tikaf, because i'tikaf is a really important ibadah in Islam. Okay, and Nabi Sallallahu taking out time itself should be more than enough dalil for us to consider what we're doing. Okay, these are the 10 days. The 10 days of Ramadan, the last 10 days are the season of i'tikaf. Hajj has a season, fasting has a season, Qurbani has a season, right? We have Eid al-Adha for the season of sacrificing animals. Every single action of every single one of these seasons has a specific ibadah that's connected to it. What is the ibadah that is connected to the last 10 days of Ramadan? Is that people should be performing i'tikaf. They should be making i'tikaf. That is the ibadah of the season. Okay, what are the rewards of i'tikaf? The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever performs i'tikaf for 1 day for the sake of seeking Allah's pleasure, Allah will place between him and the fire Jahannam 3 trenches, the distance of which will exceed the distance between the heavens and the earth. The Prophet ﷺ said, by performing 1 single day of i'tikaf, you'll get the reward, and the reward is what? That Jahannam will be put between you and Jahannam will be put the distance of 3 heavens and 3 earths. Imagine that. SubhanAllah, it's huge. 3 trenches, I'm sorry, yeah. It's Hakim, okay? Then the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever performs i'tikaf for 10 days in Ramadan, such act will be like the performance of 2 Hajj and 2 Umrah. SubhanAllah. Because again, i'tikaf is not an easy ibadah. It's not. It's definitely not. It takes a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of patience. And if you're doing it in the masjid, you have to be patient with everyone else there, right? So there's a lot of discipline involved. And so I found, subhanAllah, we're so fortunate, mashallah, in this time, that everyone can perform it within the comfort of their homes. Why don't we take advantage, inshallah ta'ala? Okay. Forgiveness, Ata al-Khurasani rahimahullah ta'ala said that the example of a person performing i'tikaf is like a man who comes and lies in the courtyard of Allah and says, Ya Allah, I shall not move from here until you forgive me. This is the idea behind i'tikaf, is that a person, inshallah, is entitled. You spend 10 days at basically the courtyard of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inside his masjid, inside his home, saying, Ya Allah, I'm not leaving until you forgive me. And this is what a person does in i'tikaf, mashallah. May Allah reward us and give us that. Okay. And the Prophet ﷺ said, if this was not enough, the Prophet ﷺ said that whoever performs i'tikaf is protected from sins, and all his good deeds are written for him as if he himself does them. So the Prophet ﷺ said that if there are actions that you used to do, and you were limited because you went inside the masjid or you went inside your home and you could not do these actions, like for example feeding the poor, visiting the sick, whatever ibadah you used to have outside the masjid, and the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that if a person performs i'tikaf, he'll get the reward of those things as well, inshallah. Okay, it's reported in Mishkat. And a person even said, one scholar wrote very beautifully, he said that all the reward outside of the house, you'll get that ajr too, inshallah ta'ala. So subhanallah, hope for the best. Really, i'tikaf to me is one of those magical ibadat that if you notice in our deen, Musa Islam had to make i'tikaf for about 40 days before he received the Torah. Okay, Musa Islam had to make i'tikaf, quote unquote, on Mount Tur, so he can receive the Torah, right? Ibrahim alayhi salam in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says, when he made i'tikaf, when he made i'tizal, he isolated himself from his father. Then Allah Ta'ala says, وَهَبَنَا لَهُ إِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ. Because of his i'tikaf, because of his isolation from everything, he gave him Ishaq and Yaqub alayhi salam. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam performed i'tikaf in the cave of Hira, Allah Ta'ala gave him the Quran. Hidayah comes because of i'tikaf. If you wanted guidance, you wanted your heart to be connected to Allah, you should try to do i'tikaf. It's really good ibadah. Okay. The goal again is to receive Laylatul Qadr, because a person in i'tikaf will receive Laylatul Qadr, inshallah. Because why? Because every single night you're in ibadah. You're there. Even your sleeping is ibadah. So now, mashallah, you're just sleeping, and subhanallah, even if Laylatul Qadr came and you just knocked out, you didn't get the chance to even make 2 rakats, you're in ibadah. So inshallah, you can hope for the reward of Laylatul Qadr as well. And subhanallah, our scholars have said that every single night of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, you should make intention, Ya Rab, make this Laylatul Qadr, so that way you get 10 full nights of Laylatul Qadr, meaning every night will be considered a night of Laylatul Qadr if you make that niyyah. Again, because Allah rewards on intentions, and you're making that ibadah, you can hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's very kind. He's very kind, especially in the month of Ramadan. Okay? So in any case, that was the basic idea behind the virtues. May Allah give us that himmah. I hope everyone is at least encouraged, if not the full 10 days, we make intention for 1 or 2 days at least. We can do that. We can make that intention, right? Make a certain place in your home. Say, you know what, this is my masjid area. I'm going to stay in here. I'm not going to move from here, inshallah. If I need to use the bathroom, whatever, I'll go out, whatever it might be, inshallah. And then, I'll get my food in here too, whatever, inshallah. There are many, it's very flexible, alhamdulillah, because of the situation we're in. Okay, and I'll explain that later. Okay, so you gotta stay in the place. I'tikaf, it means to isolate or to seclude oneself. Seclusion here, right? It's a spiritual seclusion. It is a spiritual vacation, a retirement place for your ruh, for your soul. So that way you can feel connected to Islam and feel connected to Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, the masnoon i'tikaf, okay, the sunnah i'tikaf is that you do it for the last 10 days of Ramadan. Okay, and of course we always need someone in every single masjid to do so. Okay, and because of limitations, whatever, and because people cannot do it in the masjid now, because of whatever situation we have now, may Allah give everyone afiyah, inshallah. You can make it from home, inshallah ta'ala, and you can, with that niyyah again, that Allah ta'ala give him the reward of i'tikaf, inshallah. Okay, now the musnoon one, the sunnah one, is you gotta start from the 21st night to the sighting of the moon of Shawwal. So meaning you gotta wait till 21st and then wait till 11 p.m. till California sees it, and once California sees it, then Eid is on the next day, then inshallah. Okay, I'm just messing around. But yeah, so you have to do it for the last basically 10 nights, right? That's the main goal here, right? So all the way to the moon of Shawwal. Okay, so you have to be in i'tikaf. You have to be in your area, the place, before the 21st night, meaning before Maghrib Salah. Okay, because remember, days in Islam start from Maghrib time. So you gotta be there basically 7:40, 7:30, whatever time you have. Right, be there sitting in that i'tikaf area. Then when the night comes in, the 21st night, and I'll confirm it, inshallah. I didn't get to check. I'm sorry, I forgot to check before. I think it's Wednesday night, but inshallah I'll confirm. Don't take me for right now. Okay, so you got to be there beforehand. So make sure you're sitting there to get the full reward. Again, the full reward, the 10 whole nights, other than being the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, which should be more than enough for us as Muslims. But the other reward is what? Is that Nabi ﷺ said that a person received the reward of 2 Hajj and 2 Umrah. Allahu Akbar kabira, mashallah. Okay, so who can perform? fasting male, or a female with the permission of her husband. Okay. And women can perform i'tikaf at home, which is ideally the rule. Okay, and the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, and I encourage this for all the sisters. The subhanallah, now alhamdulillah, families at home, there are a lot of different opportunities we have now, mashallah. People, there are other people to help around. The husband is there, he can do some work too, make him do some work, whatever. She should make a commitment to make some i'tikaf as well. And we should not force or push our sisters so hard that they can't perform i'tikaf. Aisha radiallahu anha would do i'tikaf between the mountains of Uhud and Thubayr, right? And the Prophet ﷺ would make i'tikaf for the last 10 nights of Ramadan until Allah Ta'ala took him. Then his wives did afterwards. The Prophet ﷺ's wives all performed i'tikaf after Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is a regular sunnah of the women of the Muslim ummah. A very interesting narration, because people always ask this question, and I just mentioned this because of like a fiqhi benefit, is that people usually ask the question is that can women will women be allowed to perform i'tikaf in the masjid if the masjid was open? And I just want to mention it because of the fiqhi benefit, and it's a nice story, right? So this is the hadith that comes in Sahih Muslim. Aisha radiallahu anha reported that when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam decided to observe i'tikaf, he prayed in the morning and then went into the place of his i'tikaf. Then he commanded that a tent should be pitched for him, and it was pitched. So the Prophet ﷺ, inside the i'tikaf area, he would have, meaning the masjid, he would have a tent, right? He would have a tent. And so basically all the mu'takifeen, all the people in i'tikaf would have their nice little tents. So it looked like basically like a camping place inside the masjid. It was very nice, And so he did that. So what happens is Aisha radiallahu anha also wanted to do so. I'm sorry, no, it was Zainab radiallahu anha first, that she wanted to have a tent pitched for her. So she pitched it accordingly. Then some other wives of Allah, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also started to pitch their tents. So basically the Prophet was resting inside the tent, right? He's just taking rest, doing his ibadah inside the tent, right? And then what happens is all the other wives of the Prophet, like three of them, I think, if I remember correctly, three of the wives of the Prophet, if I remember, it was Zainab, Aisha, and Hafsa radiallahu anhunna. May Allah have mercy on all of them. Okay, so Zainab, she pitches her tent. Aisha sees this, she gets mad, so she pitches her tent. And Hafsa also is like, okay, I'm gonna pitch my tent too. Okay, so they did this without the Prophet knowing. Right, so then all of them have their tents in there. So when the Prophet went out for Fajr, he looked and found so many tents. He's like, whose tents are these? And then the Prophet said, what is this virtue that these ladies have decided to acquire? They thought they can get some special barakah by doing i'tikaf with me. So the Prophet became so upset. Think about this. The Prophet became so upset by finding his wives doing i'tikaf like that. He commanded his tent to be struck, meaning to take it out, and abandoned i'tikaf in the month of Ramadan and postponed it to the first 10 days of Shawwal. Okay, this is the reason why the Prophet ﷺ, he did 20 days in his last Ramadan, because although he did 10 days in Shawwal, meaning the next month, the Prophet ﷺ still felt bad, so he made another 10 days within Ramadan in the following year. He made sure to make up another 10 days on top of his normal 10 days. Okay, because why? Because he saw women performing i'tikaf inside the masjid. The Prophet didn't approve of it. Okay, and people could say, oh no, he was upset because all of them started doing i'tikaf. What? It's an ibadah. It's an ibadah. Competition in ibadah is good. It's healthy. If it was anything, then we should have found that more sisters would have done i'tikaf too, right? But this is the only case we find in all of Islam. So this is a very important point that people tend to overlook. We just found that Aisha radiallahu anha, her normal i'tikaf would be where? Inside her house, and then she would pull out her curtain a little bit, and then so part of it would be in the masjid and part of it would just be at home. This is Aisha radiallahu anha's normal i'tikaf. That's the normal i'tikaf of the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they didn't make it a habit of making it in the masjid. So this is the idea behind it, mashallah. I just found this narration to be so adorable. The wives of the Prophet have so much love for him that they just want to be connected to him, and they want to be with him within the masjid too, mashallah. Okay. So, and of course our scholars, they dislike that a woman would do i'tikaf in the masjid. Imam Malik rahimahullah ta'ala also, and the wives of the Prophet, by the way, I want to just mention this as the final point. It's very clear that the men of the ummah were very busy, right? Like Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ibn al-Musayyib, like all these great fuqaha, great scholars of deen, never found real time to make full i'tikaf, right? And that's because of like a lot of different issues. Again, this is if you are chosen for i'tikaf, no, Allah Ta'ala chose you. It's amazing. Like Allah Ta'ala really loves you to give you that tawfiq to do the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Because people like Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman radiallahu anhum, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, didn't have the opportunity to make it because of all the different things that they had. Imam Malik rahimahullah says it here. He says, not reach me that Abu Bakr, Umar, or Uthman, or Ibn Musayyib, the faqih of Medina, None of these people had the opportunity to make the Sunnah Itikaf except Abu Bakr ibn Abdul Rahman, right? Only one person had the opportunity in their time. And another reason why that was the case is because there were lots of women doing the Itikaf. Our scholars have written very beautifully, according to our madhab, is that if a woman does Itikaf, it's considered also enough for the community as well. Subhanallah. And this is found from Dalil from the time of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So make dua, mashallah, and I encourage sisters, just take a couple of days, take a couple of nights even. If you can't do all 10, do some of it, inshallah. And don't deprive yourself. Don't deprive yourself of this reward, this bounty of Allah, that I can get Laylatul Qadr by just sitting in my masjid area. May Allah give us that tawfiq and himma, inshallah. Okay. So the hudud, the boundaries, whichever room is set for i'tikaf must be remained in there for the duration of the 10 days. Okay. So you must stay in there for the whole 10 days. If sunnah i'tikaf is not intended, then this is only nafil. For you to stay there is not like, okay, I'm going to break something. You're just going to go in and out. That's completely fine. That's a nafil i'tikaf. And we should make that intention every time we come to the masjid of Allah, because every single time we enter the masjid, it is like a mini i'tikaf. We can make that nafil intention and get some ajr of i'tikaf while we're in the masjid, mashallah. We can make that intention, inshallah. Right? So which room to set? Okay. So you can choose whichever room is convenient for you. Right? The ulama have written, so you can choose a bedroom. You can kick your husband out of there, because I don't think it's okay to put both husband and wife in the same room for many obvious reasons. Okay. So the bedroom can be chosen, the living room can be chosen, the basement, I don't know. Okay, whatever, be careful of the attic, with the jinnat in there. Some of them hide in there because they try to run away from the locking up of Ramadan, right? The ulama have written that it's better to choose a smaller room. You should choose a smaller room. Just a prayer mat and an area to sit, eat, and sleep is the ideal situation. So a small enough room where it's considered your place. If you already had a place of ibadah from before, alhamdulillah, that's your place, okay? If you don't want that place, you want a different place, then you got to make intention for another place. Choose a different area and say, this is my masjid area, okay? Then the masjid prayer mat, place to sit, eat, and sleep, that's ideal. That's all you want for your place of i'tikaf, okay? And again, all these kids who are just not doing anything at home too, you're waiting for high school to be over, college to be, whatever, right? You have, alhamdulillah, you have plenty of time to just sit there and just read your Quran, And a very large room in its entirety cannot be an area of i'tikaf for a woman, but a portion of it can. If you have a very large room, right, you live in those, mashallah, very nice houses in Burlington, mashallah, then you can't choose the entire floor, but you can choose a certain area, again, enough for the prayer mat, place to sit, eat, and sleep. That's the area that you're considering here, okay? That's a small enough area that's enough for you basically to live in. That's the goal here, all right? Do not select the kitchen. I put that as a joke, but because some people keep asking that question. In a very, very really rough fiqhy way, yeah, I guess you can. You could be like, all right, my prayer mat is in the kitchen, and I pray in here, and I sleep in here, and I eat in here. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Don't select the kitchen, mashallah. Again, there should be an idea that we should be a bit more basic for the last 10 days. Not too much extravagance, or if we have girls or daughters who can cook, maybe they can do that, inshallah. Maybe if the brothers can, alhamdulillah, they can take over, right? But the level of of the pakoras and the tandoori chicken that we have, mashallah, and the burgers and everything like that should be reduced, Again, the goal of Ramadan was we should kind of lose weight, So don't select the kitchen. Just, again, subhanAllah, as a joke, but really don't do it, okay? Inshallah. Right. Necessary reasons to leave the hudud. Okay, so of course there are certain reasons why a person can leave. Okay, so let's talk about them, inshallah. The reasons to leave the area. Okay, in terms of the masjid, there were certain specific bigger fiqhi issues as to why a person might have to leave the masjid. Okay, but in terms of a person performing from home, there are just a couple of things they have to remember. Just a call of nature. If they have to leave the room to use the bathroom, of course they're allowed to do so, or to make wudu, that's fine, or a mandatory ghusl. Right, if they have to make a ghusl, then they can also leave. Okay. Now, in terms of mandatory, of course, I'm hoping that people already recognize what it means to make a fard ghusl, which I hope, inshallah ta'ala. If you need me to explain it, I don't mind doing it. I'm just not going to do it right now, right? If you need to take a sunnah ghusl, okay? Okay, we'll get to that, inshallah. This is a good question. Again, any questions you have, please put it in the chat box. We're almost done with this presentation, so you will be able to give whatever, inshallah ta'ala, okay? So if they like to take a sunnah ghusl, then they should do so during the time they're performing wudu. So if you are making wudu in the bathroom, okay, then okay, I also want to make a ghusl. So what you do is you basically get ready for your shower, okay? You get ready for your shower, and then within the shower, right, you go inside the shower, you turn on the whatever, the faucet, whatever, and then the nozzle turns on, whatever, right? And so within the shower, you're performing wudu. Perform your wudu within your shower, Okay, and so basically while you're doing that, you can finish up your shower very normally, but I would really suggest, and I strongly would encourage us to take less time than we normally do. Don't be in there meditating in fi khalqis samawati wal ardi wa ikhtilafil layli al ayati li ulil albab. This is not the time to make fikr and tadabbur about Allah's creation. Okay, do your shower quickly and then come back inside. Okay, because again, it's not recommended to spend so much time outside of i'tikaf. Okay, and especially again, you just need to take a sunnah ghusl because you want to cool off. You've been sweating a lot, whatever. No problem. Take that inshallah, then go back. All right. If there's need to bring food and drink is also, but this is a need where there's a darura. Okay, not just because, oh, my husband doesn't know how to cook, so I need to cook. Cooking is not the maqsad here. The food and drink enough to survive. Okay, and if there's no one else to do it for you, if no one else is there, then you're permitted to go outside and then get your own food. But if there are people there, then they should be bringing the food for you. Okay, and this is why it's very nice, mashallah, if we have neighbors and good Muslim brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, if we know that people are making i'tikaf, and as a team effort, maybe certain families can say, what, we'll take care of the food for you guys. Don't worry about it. There's so many things we can do. Okay, so I want everyone to think outside the box here. We have a couple of days, mashallah, before this. We can make a plan to do a very beautiful i'tikaf that has never been seen in the likes of Islamic history. That mashallah, there's so many families that are performing the i'tikaf, inshallah ta'ala, right? So, and should not talk while leaving the i'tikaf area. So if you're leaving the i'tikaf area and you see your son, like, hey Abu, how you doing? Assalamu alaikum. Like, how's school going? No, that might break your i'tikaf. So be very careful. A small salam is okay. Just a passing by salam, meaning you're walking and giving salam, is completely fine. But other than that, don't make it very long. You don't want to take any risks, right? The idea here is what? The main point is don't talk outside the i'tikaf area. Okay. In terms of actions of i'tikaf, certain things that we should encourage in doing. We should make tahiyat al-wudu when we return back inside. Tahajjud, ishraq, chasht, awabin, salatul duha, right? We can make tasbih. Salatul tasbih is a very mubarak ibadah. Mashallah, we have time for it. We should do that. We should set a goal for tilawah. If we have 10 days, maybe inshallah we can make a khatam within these 10 days. We make a commitment to make three paras every single day, 3 juz every single day. It's definitely possible, right? We can make that intention, inshallah. We can also make a dhikr tasbih goal. Okay, so every single moment I'll tell myself, while I'm in i'tikaf, I'm going to read durood on the Prophet salawat ala nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I'll hold a tasbih and say sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then while I'm just sitting there, while I'm just not even concerning myself, not thinking about it, just saying sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's fine. Maybe you want to make a goal for your dhikr. I want to do every single day, la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin. I want to hit real hard 500 times, 1,000 times. MashaAllah, I want to become a real servant of Allah. I want to feel what it means to be an abid, a worshipper of Allah. You can do it, inshallah. This is the time for it. Okay, learning and teaching deen is also recommended, mashallah. If a person is, I'm still stuck in going outside, but mashallah, there are ulama who have durus, beautiful lessons of Islam during these times, lectures, mashallah, studying Islamic books. You can bring in your laptop if you still want to listen to stories of the Quran. Be my guest, bring in your laptop, bring in your phone, and listen, inshallah ta'ala. That's fine. Okay, you can get some reward, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, studying Islamic books is also fine. And the most important thing is that we avoid unnecessary talk and work. Okay, unnecessary talk and work, again, because the work that we're probably involved with, because we haven't taken off, do that. If you're already taken off, then alhamdulillah, take off. Okay, take off. Really, just commit your time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mashallah. You have your bed now, alhamdulillah. You have your comfortable bed at home to do i'tikaf. Like, la ilaha illallah. Like, are we really that, like, we're not going to take at least 1 or 2 days? May Allah give us tawfiq, inshallah. Okay, so mubahat, permissible things, eating and drinking. Obviously not doing fasting. Don't do that. Okay, sleeping, you can sleep. Don't sleep too much. Okay, a talking conversation, but it's important to avoid unnecessary conversation. So don't talk too much, right? Changing clothes, applying scents and oils, that's fine. To give lessons in the Quran, ilm of deen, we talked about that. Okay, makruh things, again, unnecessary talk and vain talk, right? This is, you should consider yourself kind of like I'm in the khutbah of the khutbah of the Jumu'ah. Okay, like you don't talk during the Jumu'ah khutbah, right? So this is how we should be in the i'tikaf. We should consider ourselves like that. I don't want to do anything that might invalidate my i'tikaf. I want to be as careful as I can, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to me in this i'tikaf. And if I can just be quiet enough just to listen to what Allah is saying, I can receive that hidayah from Allah. That's what we should feel in this i'tikaf. So try your best, inshallah, to remain as silent as possible, as quiet as you can. Okay? And cell phones, if you need it, again, and of course, because it is the link to the outside world, right, that we all have. So there is a certain amount of time that you're probably going to be clicking on it and checking WhatsApp messages and stuff like that. I would recommend, suggest that you uninstall all the apps. don't worry about it right now. If you have certain bayanat and things, lectures you want to listen to, then alhamdulillah, then do that. But don't really just, the cell phone is the, you can consider the escape route from your i'tikaf, right? So you want to be very careful about using the phone, because it's just going to break our ruhaniyat, right? We're here to get spiritual. We're not here to get back to the dunya, okay? So try to be as distant away from the phone as much as you can, okay? And if you cannot be, then set limits and timings, okay? Everyone likes a laugh here and there. They like to see memes and whatever. Mashallah, I enjoy the laugh too, right? But this is not the time for that, okay? To enclose such area of the masjid for the purpose, that's for the masjid stuff. Sorry, I forgot to remove that. Right, this is my COVID-19 edition, right? So it's trying to remove that. As for sisters, the last thing I want to talk about as for sisters is that sisters who want to do i'tikaf again, and I really encourage it for all the sisters, is that they have to be able to fast, okay? If she knows she will not be able to perform the masnoon i'tikaf, okay, then she only should perform nafil till her days appear, okay? And so meaning that she has nafil's niyat, right? And if it happens unexpectedly, meaning that her cycle happens, the regular cycle she goes through every single month, right? If that happens, then what she should do is she should make up that 1 or 2 days that she misses, or 3 days. Oh, I'm sorry about that. If it happens during her i'tikaf, right, then she should make up that one day that was broken, okay? Because it will break, because her fasting will break too, right? So she won't be able to fast, and she won't be able to be in i'tikaf. A requirement of i'tikaf, the proper i'tikaf, is that a person be in the state of fasting, okay? So you cannot do the sunnah i'tikaf without being able to fast. So the sister will not be able to do it, basically. So she will have to make up that one day that is missed. She'll make up that one day that is missed, right? And she'll make it up, I'm sorry, I forgot to write it here, but basically make it up after Ramadan. Whatever time she can, she'll just make it up that whole day. Start from basically the Maghrib time to the Maghrib time of the next day, and fast that day as well, okay? And then inshallah, she can also hope for the sunnah reward as well, right? And she can do whatever she needs to do before, prepare food for herself, knit, sew, but it's better to remain in ibadah, okay? It's better to remain in ibadah. And practical guidelines, isolation is key. Again, remember, you're here to avoid everyone. Try only out of need to talk. Try only out of need to discuss with people. You're only here for Allah. You should only be talking to Allah. You should be making dua to Allah, cry to Allah. SubhanAllah, He's been so kind to our community. He's protected us so much, mashallah. We should make so much shukr to Him. Just thank Him so much for everything, And stop being so ungrateful, really. We're just so ungrateful. Connect on the connection with Allah. See how much He's given you, how much He's provided you. Think about it. Think about all the things you have that people don't have. The comfort of, that now, mashallah, you can perform i'tikaf from your home too. Alhamdulillah, it's near of Allah Ta'ala, okay? And create a timetable. I always tell everyone, if you schedule it, it will be real. If you don't schedule it, it'll never be real. So schedule it, inshallah, your memorization, your tilawah, your sitting and learning of something of deen, inshallah. That way you have a goal, an idea of what you're doing every single day. So that way the 10 days are used effectively and not wasted, okay? You want to use them effectively. And last thing again, just be grateful to Allah. I was chosen before everyone else. Again, I told you about how the Sahaba, some of them weren't given the tawfiq to do it. MashaAllah, if you want to do it, alhamdulillah, then thank Allah Ta'ala, because He wants you to be there. He only wants it. Like we say that whoever Allah Ta'ala loves, He allows them to come to the masjid. And now, subhanAllah, whoever Allah Ta'ala loves, He allows them to make i'tikaf. Okay? He only wants you to be there. So be very thankful to Allah. If you feel like doing it, if you're encouraged, then bismillah. Okay? If you don't feel like it, make dua to Allah. Ya Allah, give me that intention, give me that niyyah. And while in i'tikaf, inshallah, make the intention, Ya Allah, I will not leave here until you forgive me. Okay? I want forgiveness. I use this Ramadan for forgiveness, and I want you to forgive me, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, I ask you for your love for the rest of my life. Ya Allah, I want your mahabba. If you become the Habib of Allah, your entire life, don't worry about this life, you'll definitely be taken care of. The next life, everything will be fine for you, mashallah. But if we become the Habib of Allah, the beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah make us all His beloveds, inshallah, and give us a tawfiq to make this i'tikaf and take advantage of this time. Allah has given us a quarantine time for Quran time and for i'tikaf time. Let's take advantage of it, inshallah ta'ala, before a day comes where we regret that we could have done it and we didn't get the opportunity to do so anymore. May Allah give us all tawfiq. Wa sallallahu alayhi wa Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. Inshallah, we'll take questions now. Whatever questions, again, you can please put in the chat box, and I'll start answering them. Can son and father perform i'tikaf in the same room? Yes, father and son can perform i'tikaf in the same room, provided, again, you want to have enough space. You don't want to be sleeping on top of each other, right? So just make sure you have enough room that you both can pray and whatever, okay? And if that area that you have is the area that you have for prayer, for example, right, in your house, then if the wife and the daughters and everyone wants to join in, they can also join in that room. That's fine. Again, you can make that room, that ibadah, the musalla area of your house, which it should be, right? The musalla area can become your i'tikaf room, and then everyone who needs to just do ibadah and stuff like that can come in, inshallah. That's completely fine. Okay, but again, reducing conversations within that room. That's the goal here. Right? This is a good question. Another brother asked, can husband and wife perform i'tikaf in the same area? Yes, they can. At least in the masjid, not in the masjid, but at the home, right? But like I said, there's a lot of himma that's involved there. So husband and wife, inshallah ta'ala, be very careful of not doing other things which might also be an issue with the i'tikaf. And you can catch my drift, right? Don't need to really spell out everything for you. Be very careful again. They can perform the i'tikaf in the same area, at least in the home, because of what situation we're in. But I would ideally say they do it in separate rooms. Okay? Allah ta'ala knows best. Any other questions, inshallah, please? Okay. Follow-up question. IT worker needs to join meeting, online meeting at office. Okay. If there are meetings at the office again, your work is from your laptop or your computer. So you can either bring in your desktop into the room or you can use your laptop, and that's fine. Again, with the situation that we're in, would it ruin i'tikaf? Again, it's within the necessary work that you need to do. Okay. And again, the goal of the thing that would ruin i'tikaf is leaving the area. Okay. If you left the area, that would break the i'tikaf. But if you're still in the area, that's completely fine. I'tikaf will be fine, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, again, and okay, that's a good question. So again, if you need to bring in your workspace, that's fine. We're bringing a workspace. But I would always ideally say that just take off, because i'tikaf is ruined by unnecessary talking, too much talking, right? You might feel the spiritual blessings being deprived because of just too much discussions, right? So try your best, inshallah, to limit it as much as you can, right? Is taking a shower okay? Again, I said if you need to make wudu in the time of making wudu, you can do it. But leaving unnecessarily, again, could be will break the i'tikaf. So if you're going to take a shower, right, then again, do it within the time of wudu, and again, make your wudu within the shower room or in the shower area. So basically, again, go into the ghusl area, make wudu, turn on the shower, make wudu in there, and just take your shower and finish it up, and make it a very short shower, because again, you don't want to take it too long, because it could possibly invalidate by being out there for too long. Okay, so try your best, inshallah. Allah to make it easy. Any other questions? Okay. And again, I really encourage high school and college students that are not really doing anything right now, take advantage. Alhamdulillah, you never got to do i'tikaf before, and now you have a chance. All you need to do now is just stay in your room like you've always been doing. You introverted little kid, like just stay in there and just take care of it, mashallah. Okay, Allah to make it easy. All right. I'll give 1 more minute for questions. Is there any more questions? If not, inshallah, I'll finish up the program. Okay. Okay, so Jazakumullah khairan to everyone. Again, we have a daily Quran stories of the Quran. Some of you probably came for that. I'm sorry again. We had just an Itikaf Masail program that we have every year. So we just wanted to maintain that sunnah that we have, mashallah. So inshallah, tomorrow we'll be continuing with the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. We'll finish it up. And then we'll have our regular Quran stories till the end of Ramadan. May Allah give us a very mubarak, blessed Ramadan. Give us a chance to connect with Him. Give us the heart of a believer, inshallah. May Allah give us the actions of a believer as well in these last 10 days. And give us a beautiful Eid, inshallah, at the end. May Allah give us all tawfiq. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.